Alright, hello guys. In this video I'm going to be presenting you my second preliminary summer forecast for this year's summer 2019. And before I get started with the video, I just wanted to recommend that you do subscribe to my channel for future monthly forecasts and also seasonal forecasts, as well as just forecasts on things like severe weather outbreaks and hurricanes that might affect the United States during this summer. I will be making forecasts on all notable weather events, hopefully. Now we're going to be looking at our temperature forecast to begin with, and this looks pretty similar to our previous preliminary temperature outlook for this summer. The two things that have really changed the most is in the west coast of the United States. We have that slightly above normal temperature region covering California and Nevada now, and then we've moved that below average section, or that slightly below average section, a little bit further east. Now that was centered mostly over the Four Corners states, and now it's more centered over Texas and New Mexico as well. Now, you'll see our two areas of above normal temperatures for Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and then also a region of Montana there in extreme northwestern Montana. We also have a section that extends from Minnesota down through the Great Lakes into Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York City, all of this New York State, also Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. This is where we expect some above normal temperatures, and it will be noticeable. You'll look back on this summer probably and feel like it was overall warmer than normal. A lot more 80s and 90s for you guys up there in the Northeast. Now we're going to move on to precipitation forecasts, and you can see this has changed quite a bit. We've extended this below average or slightly below average precipitation section. We've moved this further west. This used to take over most of Montana, Wyoming, and Utah. Now it's really pushed west to where now it's mostly the west coast, but still Washington, Oregon, Northern California, Northern Nevada, portions of Utah, most of Idaho, and the mountainous regions, or most of the mountainous regions of Montana are going to be involved in that slightly below average precipitation region. We've extended our slightly above normal precipitation region westward all the way into Wyoming and Colorado. This used to not extend this far at all, but really we've seen signals that there will be storms, more storms likely in those more western regions just east of the Rockies. We also have our above average precipitation area, and this is where it's a little bit more notable in our medium green than the areas outside of there. This is where we expect some more wet conditions, which I know is some bad news because we've really been last summer and fall we saw a lot of precipitation in this area and as well as this winter, so it doesn't look to let up just yet. So this is bad news for a lot of you guys that live in that area. Now we're going to move on to our overall forecast, and obviously this has changed with the rest of the other two things in the same ways. I'm going to work my way from west to east here and cover all the areas. Drier and warmer for the northwestern United States, Washington, Oregon, Northern California, Northern Nevada, Idaho, and western Montana. We're all in that drier and warmer section. This is where we expect drier conditions and also warmer conditions, if you couldn't tell already. In this blue section down here in the Four Corner states, down through Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, we have colder than normal conditions. And then we pushed our above average severe weather a little bit further east here, and through the spring so far, at least in March, we've seen that severe weather be further east than typical. Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri, and mostly areas east of there have been getting most of the severe weather during the severe weather season so far. West of you hasn't been getting quite their average amount yet. In Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, we haven't seen quite as much as we normally see. It's been to the east of you, and this is what I was calling for during March, and I expect that most likely with the way that the jet stream is set up, we will expect the areas of severe weather to be a little bit further east than typical once again as we head into the summertime, just like we've been seeing in March. Now, this means that Nebraska, Iowa, eastern Kansas, eastern Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, northern Louisiana, most of Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, also areas of Georgia as well, are going to be seeing above average severe weather comparative to areas to your west. Now, we also have our warmer than normal section. That yellow gold section is just where we're seeing slightly warmer than normal, but in our orange section is where we will really see the warmer than normal conditions. Again, just like you saw in the temperature forecast, it's going to be most notable up there in those northern areas in the Great Lakes regions and also the New England areas of the United States. Also, we're going to be seeing above average precipitation in this green area from Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, northern Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, D.C., Delaware, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and New York City and upstate New York. We will be seeing above average precipitation. Once again, like I said, that's very bad news for you guys. And then in our purple section, that's where we have a question mark for hurricane season still. That's going to be something that's going to be a lot easier to predict. By time it's around almost June time, we will have a much better idea of the hurricane season, and I might even make a separate hurricane season forecast once we're well into July, once we're really getting close, just so we can tell the temperatures comparative to normal in the developmental regions of the Atlantic, where we're going to be seeing those hurricanes develop, and also just the way the winds are set up. It's going to be kind of more of a short-term thing to forecast, so we're going to be able to tell once we're a lot closer. Again, June or July, we'll have a much better idea of hurricane season 2019. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, consider subscribing if you did enjoy this video or this content, as all of my content is just like this video, and I'm sure you'll love it if you did love this video. Anyway, guys, I hope to see you in the next video. Have a great day, and have a great summer of 2019.